Welcome to Getting Real with Andrew Cohen. We have a great show for you today. Today on the show we have Peter DaCunha here. Peter he's a pretty good actor. He's known for his role as Tyler in the critically acclaimed movie Remember, starring Christopher Plummer, which he shared extensive lines with, and it was pretty cool for him. He's participated in the show Reign as Prince Charles in seasons 1 and 2. And also, I don't know if it's currently starring. We'll have to see in the fourth season. But he had a recurring role as Samuel Ramsey in season 2 of 12 Monkeys. And it was awesome. The show is awesome. You should check it out. You should check out Remember. And yeah, and he is, and it was a really good interview. We talk about a lot. This is another re-release from 5 Live Comedy. And it was just... And so if you've listened to 5 Live Comedy in the past, and it was from that, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine too. You could just listen to it. It's fine. So new interviews coming up. We don't know when these are going to happen, but we just know they're happening. So here, let's start with the first one. Thomas Barbuska. Thomas Barbuska is a great actor, known for his role as what's his name? As his role as Leo in the movie Middle School: The Worst Years of My Life. It currently stars as Chip Pennington in the Fox series The Mick. It's a great show. It's a very funny show. You should check it out. But we don't know when that's happening. But we know it's happening, so it's a matter of when. Then the second one. The second one that we have coming up. This is I'm pretty sure we have this one. I am not 100% guaranteed we have it. I'll let you know, but it's a pretty good chance. This is pretty great. We're gonna have Finn Wolfhard on the show coming up, probably in the next month or so if it happens. Finn Wolfhard starts as Mike Wheeler in the Netflix series Stranger Things. And then in Richie Tozier in the new 2017 film adaptation of Stephen King's It, who we just interviewed, Jeremy Ray Taylor, and I still need to see the movie. It's embarrassing, but yeah, it's weird. I haven't seen Stranger Things or It. No, I'm a terrible person. It's funny. I was seeing this movie the other day with It was called Majori Prime, and then after the show, the woman, I guess she came in 20 minutes late, the moderator for this panel starring the star of the movie, which was Lois Smith, she's had like a 40-year legendary career, quoting from my mom. She's been in 5 Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson. She's been True Blood. She's been in a lot of stuff. So she's had a legendary career. So we saw her afterwards. It was her, the director, and then the moderator. And the moderator had 2 hours of sleep, and she did not do well. They were kind of giving her like a jokingly hard time, but I couldn't blame her because she said she was, I guess, working on this book for something, and apparently she was like a very big moderator from the New York Times. So, you got to cut her a break, one time out of 20 years, I guess, of a career. You can cut somebody a break after that, But yeah, so that was, and basically, so then I came up to her after the movie, and I was like, and I told her about my experience with Jeremy, and Jeremy, and how I went under prayer. I was like, oh yeah, I empathize with you, and and I guess I think I was a little full of myself. I guess who am I to Janet? I forget her last name. Who cares? My mom's like, it takes a lot of balls to go up to Janet, what's her name, and empathize with her. I'm like, well, I did, so it doesn't mean it's not like. I guess to other people she's really known, but to me not really, But yeah, And I just want to let you guys know something happened, and I want to share with you guys, and it was really nice that this happened. So Jeremy shared the interview on his Twitter, and it was incredible because what happens is when he shared it, he has like 30, I'm not even kidding, 33.5 thousand followers on his Twitter. And you know what happened to the interview? All these have like 15, 19, 11, whatever. We have over 251 downloads for that interview alone. That is incredible for a month in. I mean, and I guess that's for me, that's incredible because, I think it took me a while to get a show that even had 100, and overnight we had 200. In a couple days we got 251. So thank you to all those who listened to the Jeremy Ray Taylor interview. I hope it went well. And I just really hope, I guess that's what it matters. It matters about promotion and if we can get it done. So, and I'd like to keep doing these. So I hope we can get some bigger interviews. But yeah, that's enough for me. Get ready for Peter DaCunha. 3, 2, 1, let's get it! Hi, Peter. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So yeah, let's get into it. So where are you from? How were you brought up?
Well, I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I still live around there.
Still live there.
We got Canadian.
You don't sound like you're from Canada. You sound. Oh, is that like something that's just you get older? Is it? Do people from Toronto have the accent, or is that just like a?
Not really. It's more in like PEI and like Nova Scotia and stuff where you sort of have
Oh,
accent. So, yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to, not offend any Canadians on this podcast. I don't want to
Yeah.
like go. I don't want to like start doing a Canadian accent, and then be like, that was bad. That was bad. I liked all my viewers. So you've lived all your life in Toronto?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you so have you always been into acting, or have you just what are sort of your interests or hobbies and stuff like that?
Um, well, I've always been into it. Like when I was younger, when I was watching movies, I'd always pay attention to the lighting, and my mom always told me these stories of how I would always talk about the characters and their characteristics. And one day, my sister was going to get an agent for singing because she's a professional singer,
Mm-hmm.
and the agent asked me if I wanted to do anything, and I said I wanted to do acting. And my mom didn't want me to do it at first because I was only six, like 5 or 6, so she was very like nervous about it because she thought I was too young to do this entire thing,
Yeah.
but I begged her and she
Uh-huh.
finally let me, and I've been doing it ever since that. So,
Well, so your mom was thinking like he's 6 years old, he doesn't know what he wants to do when he gets older. You should just let him sort of discover, a world of what he wants to do. I guess that was probably her thinking.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so you've been acting since how did you get into acting? What did you like sort of start with?
Well, a lot of people start with commercials, but I know people who've started with like going straight into movies, going straight into TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I started off with doing a Fruit Loops commercial and a couple of commercials after that.
It's a great place to start, Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
So, what was sort of your sort of big thing? What sort of, what was the big thing? What was the thing that sort of brought you into bigger roles and stuff like that?
It was probably when I did The Barons, which was a horror movie that I did when I was probably about 7,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or 7 or 8, I think. And that one I had a lead role in it, and that was my first lead role ever. So I think that's kind of what brought me into the movie making thing, because I was
Mm-hmm.
always making commercials before that. So
Mm-hmm. And I guess so. I only had a few days to. I got this. I think I got this interview. It was like what, Friday, or it was Thursday or something. And I only had a few days to sort of watch things that you had. So I was like sort of So I spent, I think, the last few days binging things that you've done. And I got close. I saw Remember, the
Oh,
film you
really?
did with Christopher Plummer. Yes, that was an interesting film. How was it working with Christopher Plummer, like an amazing famous actor?
Um, well, he was a very, very talented person, as you can tell by his performance in that movie.
Yeah.
It was crazy to be around him because my mom is like, she loves the sound of music and she talked about it all the time. She'd sing the songs to us when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when I finally like met him, it was like kind of like surreal because I was like, this guy has like been, I've seen the movie when I was younger, and like
Hmm.
it's just weird to have him in front of me. And he was an amazing person. He was so nice, and he gave me a lot of acting tips and
Wow.
a lot of career advice, and it was awesome to be around him.
Yeah. So sorry, there was a thing in the background. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
Um. So you but like, so you knew who he was going into the role. You like knew
Yeah.
who, like, you knew how. You didn't just go to the role, be like, oh, who's this guy, and then you found out later, oh, this guy's Christopher Plummer. Like, you kind of knew who he was, sort of going into the role.
Yeah.
So had you ever experienced communicating with somebody who has sort of dementia, or sort of that state that you saw?
Um, Actually never, which is good on my part because my grandma's getting old, so it's good that she doesn't have dementia and stuff. But yeah, I've never communicated with anyone
Mm-hmm.
who has dementia or anything.
Did you know what that was going into the role?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it was very realistic for you in that situation. I mean, I just imagine, all I saw, all you wanted was your PSP back.
Yeah.
That's all you wanted. Which is, that's realistic for, if like a kid in that situation, and he's like freaking out. Somebody takes your PSP. You don't care what he's going through. You just want your PSP back, which is
Yeah.
that's a normal thing. Do you given the subject of the film, and you saw the full film? I'm guessing you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't just like see it. You didn't just say like it didn't just like send you a clip of your part. You like saw the. I'm guessing you saw the full
Yeah, I
film.
went to go see it at TIFF. Yeah.
Hmm. Do you think you understood the subject matter more of the film for someone your age than like people, than like, let's say, like your friends? Do you think, given that you did the film, you understood sort of the subject matter more?
I definitely did understand it, mostly because I had read the script and I also knew about all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I understood a lot of the story, like he was very confused and stressed out about why all this stuff was happening and why he was trying to figure out how to stop it, but he didn't know what was actually happening. And I definitely understood it. I don't know. It depends on other kids, but I know that I did, and I did get to research the role and stuff like that. So I did know a lot about
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff beforehand of
Mm-hmm.
filming it.
So even though you knew that you were going to just have like a few lines that had really nothing to do with sort of the overall plot of him, going after, you were, because your character, you played Tyler, and he was just somebody who, I'm trying to recall. So you were just he was just talking to you about sort of why he was going to Cleveland, for Sir
Yeah,
Plummer's character. So, but you, even though you really didn't have sort of, I guess I'm trying to say, you didn't have the most central sort of
yeah.
towards the plot. I guess that's what I'm saying. And then, but you still like did the research. Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, it was interesting, so I wanted
Yeah.
to know more about it,
Oh
and
yeah. It's
I mean,
very,
it turned out well in the end. So
yeah. I did not see that end coming. I was like, when that
I
end
know,
coming, I was like, like
I know,
literally.
mind blowing.
Yeah. Have you seen the Usual Suspects?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about that because as a because it has one of the most famous plot twists at the end. And I'd recommend if you like plot twists like that, you should see
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
Usual Suspects. It's sort of that's what sort of reminded me of. So and then what are your sort of other besides acting? I'm sort of skipping around. Um, what are your other interests? Do you have any other interests besides sort of acting?
Um, I love drawing. I love soccer.
Soccer? Hmm.
I play soccer.
To be a well-rounded person, you can't just.
Yeah.
Well, do you
Uh,
do any other extracurricular activities besides acting? Oh well, no, I've really just dedicated. No, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to learn how to like do like how to professionally do art. I don't know how to word that.
Professionally, like draw, do art, like
Yeah.
watercolor, paint.
Um, sketch,
Oh,
like drawing,
sketch.
pencil, stuff like that. I've been doing it for a couple of years. I don't know how good I am. Um, but I really like doing it. I have like a full wall in my room where I just put all my drawings and stuff. But
It kind of
yeah,
does it kind of look like one of those sort of like you're trying to find the murderer sort of things
sort
rooms
of.
where you're like it kind of looks like a sort of a like one of those Sherlock Holmes mystery things except with drawings, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of imagining like what sort of things do you like to draw? Like what sort of abstract,
Um,
just general, what?
well, I love to draw things that I'm really interested in. So I can draw like movie characters. I just recently played a video game, Alien Isolation, and I really liked it. So I tried
Hmm.
to draw the xenomorph, like stuff like that. Like I just draw things I really enjoy, and I just realized I'm sort of good at chibis. I don't know, but it's hard. I'm trying to learn how to do them, but yeah.
Hmm. So let's talk about okay, so I kind of wanted to get that in there. I don't know why. That I don't know, that structure was weird. I went from upbringing to acting and then back to interests. It was a that's a,
Yeah.
that was a weird transition, but back to acting. um I like to play around. So the one thing I didn't get to was 12 Monkeys. That I started watching the show. I didn't get to the second season, where
Mm.
which in retrospect might have been a good idea. Um, so I understood your character though because I got to the point where did you see? I'm guessing you saw the first season.
I saw a little bit of the first season. They
Yeah.
did give me the first season, but I never finished it because we started filming right away. So I kind of like skipped past it and started filming season two already. So,
Hmm.
but I mean, it probably would have been a good idea for me to watch all of season one, seeing as though I was coming back as a character from before that was
Yeah,
younger.
that's how I discovered your character because in the show I think there's like a one episode I don't know if it's in the rest of the episodes, but there's one episode where there's a character where it's your character except he's like really young. So
Yeah,
that's why sort of I got to know your character's name is your character is Samuel Ramsey. You're
yeah.
the son of Jose Ramsey. And how did you have a I something I find interesting is did you sort of develop into like sort of with the actor who plays Ramsey on the show? Do you sort of develop like a sort of a relationship like that, sort of more of a father son relationship? I know it's like how is that like?
Um, well, I mean, of course I had a relationship with all of the cast members, but I did have a really good relationship with him. We would goof around a lot because I mean, we were in a lot of scenes together, a lot of heartfelt scenes with
Yeah.
hugging and stuff, so we like got to know each other and I mean, yeah, I mean, I did 6 episodes with him, so I was around him a lot.
Does it film? Did you have to go to Los Angeles? Where does it film? Where is it?
It films in Toronto.
Oh, it
Yeah.
films in Toronto. Oh, so you were lucky.
Yeah.
You're like local, yeah. Um, so I mean, did you like the whole idea of the show? I mean, must be a pretty cool idea of like anybody like time travel. It's like I get to be in a show about time travel. I'm guessing that must be like a really cool experience.
It was really awesome. I mean, the set was like amazing. There was like all those underground tunnels, and I got to walk through all of them, and it just it was like being in another world when you're in there because they built almost an entire facility and you could just walk through the hallways. Like I got lost like about 6 times while I was there.
Yeah.
Um, so you have to have like the ADs like walking you around set because there's like all these different rooms and corridors and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, it
Did
was
you?
really.
Is that sort of the most? I guess is that sort of the most interesting acting you've done? I guess. Well, no, like sort of more experience, I guess.
It's definitely one of the most interesting sets I've been on. Um, I don't know what's the most interesting acting experience I've done because I've enjoyed all of them. So I
Yeah.
don't exactly know.
You don't have a favorite?
Yeah, I don't have a favorite.
You don't have. I mean, really, you don't have a favorite. You don't have like one thing that was like sort of that was it. That was like this was really cool. This was mattered. No.
Well, I mean, I've done some movies where I found them like pretty really fun, like The Barons. I enjoy horror movies a lot, so I would say that doing horror movies is what is one of my
Oh.
favorite things. But I also like I also like doing the other things. So I can't exactly say they're my favorite, but I also do have a lot of fun filming stunts and stuff like that on set. So
Hmm.
I'd say that maybe a horror working on horror movies is my favorite sort of.
That's that's unusual. That's also kind of terrifying at the same time. Um,
It's not as scary on set as it is in the
yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Um, do you do you ever argue with the people like do you ever want to do your own stunts? I guess because you say you like doing stunts.
Um, I'm not allowed to do most stunts because of my age, but if
Uh-huh.
I was older, I probably would be able to. I wouldn't argue with them exactly because I don't want to get
Oh
hurt.
yeah, but
Um,
it's like it's
but
for your safety. It's for your safety, Peter. Come on.
yeah, I mean, the biggest stunt that I've probably done, probably being up on a 12-foot scaffolding outside of a window. That was probably the biggest thing I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was in Hellions, the movie I did
Hell yeah.
in 2013, I think.
May 13. Do you ever look back sort of like it's like I did that movie in 2010. It's crazy. Like do you ever sort of think like that, I guess?
Yeah, like I still feel like 2010 wasn't that long ago. I don't know why, but then I'm like, wow, that was like 7 years ago that I did that movie. And yeah,
Hmm.
I know. My first movie was in 2010, or 2011.
What was it?
It was um a Disney Channel movie called Frenemies. That was my first ever movie, but it was the Barons that kind of brought me into the lead role kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see. You have a movie coming up, Mommy's Little Boy.
Yes.
It's that smile is it? I'm guessing it's a comedy.
No, it's a thriller.
Oh, it's a thriller. Oh,
Uh,
okay. That
um,
that's why you were like, oh, 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 like that's
yeah. Um,
what's that
yeah,
about?
it's about the character that I'm playing called Eric, and his mom is very abusive and mentally unstable, and he meets this family that he really, really wants to live with because they're a functional, normal family that love each other, and he's never experienced that. So starts to he begins on this journey to just do anything he can to just live with this family, even if it means putting himself in danger. So it's this whole thing.
Yeah. Talk about
um,
danger. I saw you. When also during my research, quote unquote. I go through Instagram and Twitter, and I found an interesting picture in you on Twitter. It's you shooting a gun. They
yes,
they let
that's
you
from
do that.
a little boy.
They let
Yeah.
you the guy who likes his favorite movies are horror movies. They let you hold a gun.
It was fake.
No, yeah, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, if it was real, my mom would have like not let me do that movie.
Yeah. Was that how is that? Have you ever hold a gun before, like or fake gun? I guess was that like
Um,
your first experience?
yeah, that was my first experience. Yeah. Um, it was cool. It was heavier than I thought it was going to be, even though it was fake because it was sort of made out of metal a little.
Mm-hmm.
it was cool. It kind of felt weird having that in my hand because it felt like it was like I'm never gonna hold a gun in my life, so why would I be holding one kind of thing. But
Yeah,
um, it was amazing. It felt weird at
felt
first, but
weird.
then it's like I was like, wait, like I feel kind of cool,
Yeah,
but
I
like not cool to be holding a gun, but like still, I kind of felt badass, sort of.
yeah, I don't know anybody who's sort of held a gun. I think who's held a gun and be like, this feels so right. This feels
Yeah,
right.
well,
Like
not that, but
those are the serial killers.
yeah, those are.
those are the bad guys. Those are the only bad guys. Sort of hold a gun and then they're like, "This was
It's
my
meant to
path
be.
all along."
Yeah.
So, have you ever did you what was I gonna say? Do you what was it called? Oh, have you ever wanted to do films like that prior? Do like films where you have like thrillers or like movies where you have to hold guns and stuff?
Um, well, I don't. I've done a lot of those actually, but I've done comedy as well. Like I've I just actually did the trailer for a new comedy series, which is trying to get funding right now, called Life Coach.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
And we released the trailer on YouTube, so we're trying to get as many views as we can on YouTube because it's entered in a contest to get funding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we're trying to spread it out as much as we can. So people listening to the podcast
Yeah.
should go check out the
Go,
trailer on YouTube.
yeah, go check out Life Coach on YouTube. What's the YouTube channel?
I'm. It's called Life Coach Series.
Life Coach
Yeah,
Series. Go to youtube.com and check out Life Coach Series. Please donate for Peter, so Peter can act, so Peter can have a
yeah,
future, so Peter can he can continue with his career. Because if you don't, then he can't continue with his career, and then it's going to be all over. So just please donate.
yeah.
That's what you tell people. That's what you tell people. That's what you say. It's all on the line. Do it now, or everything's
Online,
done.
do it now.
Do it now. Everything's done. What's it? So like, how were you approached about that? So where you're just like, we want to do this series, but we have no money to do it, but we really want you in it. So how did that sort of go down?
Well, my friend Rachel Wilson is the lead role in the series, and they needed someone to play her son as
Mm-hmm.
a regular role, and they hadn't found anybody, so she brought it up to the director, and they sent me an email, and they were like, "Would you be willing to do this? We can't pay you because of this, but once we get funding, we will pay you." And I was like, "I don't care if you don't pay me. It's work. I love it, so I'll do it."
It's time away from the house. It's like you're. That's what you're. I guess I don't know. Your parents are like, well, it gets him out of the house, so he'll do it.
Yeah.
He needs a
Yeah.
hobby. So do you what's so is it so you were approached by just a friend and then you're doing it. How do you hope it gets where do you hope it happens once it gets funding? Do you hope to sell it to like a network or
Um, well, we're trying to sell it to a network right now. We're going all over asking and stuff like that, trying to sell it to people. But it might end up being a web series if we can't sell it to anyone, which it would still be able to be filmed. So that's
yeah.
still, even if it is a web series. But the ideal situation for the producer and the director is that they want it to be on a network, which I mean would be amazing. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Do you do you have say in that? Do you think they actually well, how about this? Do you think they just got you so they can say we have Peter DaCunha? Is how you pronounce your last name? I should have done the Google
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, DaCunha.
DaCunha. I should have because sometimes I interviewed somebody and his first name was Etrick Beatty. And I was like, and it's spelled Etdriceck. So I was so scared going into that interview of saying his name wrong. So I just like to be sure.
Yeah.
So do you think they would just want so we have Peter DaCunha on the show, and I Do you think they got it to use just so they could have some like sort of celebrity name to it? Then,
I don't know if I'm a celebrity, but
well, like they have somebody of some prominence, I guess.
um,
You can't say you don't have any prominence. I mean, you've been on TV and stuff, so you can't. There's modest. There's arrogance and then there's self confidence. You gotta
yeah.
fine line.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I actually don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
Don't want to sound like cocky or
Oh
anything.
no!
I
Of
don't
course, this
think
is the
I don't
place.
think that was why they put me on.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah,
half joking.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
That they
I was nervous
yeah.
about those questions because I'm like, if I say one thing wrong, people are gonna like hate me forever. So,
No, this is a free space. You could be as arrogant or cocky or as mean as you want. It's a safe space. It's kind of like those rooms. I don't know if you go to Europe. There's these rooms where they have, instead of like smoking areas that they have in the U.S. They have an entire room that they seal the door shut for smokers. This podcast is sort of like that, except for kids to talk about themselves as much as possible.
okay.
Yeah, so just spill the beans, I guess. I guess that's the right word. Uh, so whatever. So what are sort of the craziest things you've done acting wise? What's sort of the craziest thing you've done?
In terms of character or in terms of like the storyline?
In terms of just character, in terms of acting, like have you ever had to like act over the top a lot or act, very
Um,
quietly, or like have you ever had to do something like sort of crazy, I guess? What's the
um, well, in Mommy's Little Boy, I do have to play sort of mentally unhinged.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was probably the craziest, like literally craziest
Yeah.
that I've done, but also Hellions, I was also a demon in that, so I was
Mhm.
also crazy in that one. Um, but yeah, those were two of the craziest ones. So,
Yeah. So, do you are so in Mommy's Little Boy, do you play Mommy's Little Boy?
yes, I do.
Yeah,
It's
you're the title
yeah.
character. Um, is that because that's a very creepy name for the show? Uh,
Huh.
that's something that you name like a horror movie. That sounds like it sounds like what was sorry, yeah.
What? Oh no,
Uh,
continue.
you're just looking like what's going on here? Um,
My mom is
oh
talking to
yeah,
me for a second.
yeah. Your advisor. Um, don't get anything wrong, Peter. Um,
No,
yeah.
no, she's just asking me about some things that I forgot to do homework and stuff. So,
Uh, that's
yeah,
very professional. No, I'm just
I
kidding. No, I'm kidding. Um,
know.
so, but that sounds like something from the movie. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of the movie. What's the movie with the dolls? I know this movie. People are gonna be on the podcast being like, it's that movie. I forget the movie with like the doll. It's like
Annabelle?
no, not Annabelle. Like the little doll that's like it's a horror movie series. It's with the little doll. I'm trying to think.
Chucky?
Chucky. Yes, that sort of reminds me of like a character in like Chucky. That sounds like if they that's Mommy's Little Boy sounds like a subtitle to like a Chucky movie.
Um, sort of.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the reason why it was called Mommy's Little Boy was also
Yeah.
because it's sort of like a sequel to the first movie, which was Mommy's Little Girl. Um,
Oh
and
no.
that one was sort of the same storyline, not really. But it's sort of the same type of thing. Yeah. But everyone should go watch it because it's coming out on Lifetime on March 18th, so next week. Only in America though. I don't know when
Only in
it's
the
coming out in Canada.
not
Um,
does that feel like a betrayal from the
well,
Canadian
I know it's coming
from
out in Canada. I just don't know what date. I think it's in
okay.
April.
Okay, because that'd be really weird. It's like it stars a Canadian, but it's like doesn't play in Canada. That'd
Yeah.
be I'd feel like if I was Canadian, I'd feel like that would be a betrayal to like, I was like, come on guys, one of your fellow Canadians is in it. That was the word. I thought there was a different word, but it's like when your video was like speeding up or something.
Yeah.
You were like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, well, a minute, guys, come on, why don't we show it here? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, what else? So what's your dream role? What's sort of the role that is it's always been there like that you want? Like what would be a role?
Um, Definitely. Oh, I have two dream roles. Could I
Oh,
say
this is gonna be
both?
interesting. Yeah, say both. Say five of
Um,
them. I don't know. I don't care.
Action hero and the lead in a sitcom.
The lead in a sitcom. What would be the sitcom about? What would the sitcom be about?
Um, I don't know. Probably something about a nerdy kid who lives with a dysfunctional family. I don't know.
Okay. Would you? Was that how you would you sort of consider yourself? I guess like nerdy. I guess.
Yeah, I would.
Well,
Yeah.
what are your like nerdy qualities? Because that's not a bad thing. I mean, it used to be like a bad thing. People would be like, he's a nerd, ha ha. Like now if you're a nerd, that means like you're better than everybody else. Um,
Yeah. Um, I'd say my nerdy qualities. I'm more of like a movie nerd, like the movie nerd, like people. Whenever my friends are over, all I'm ever talking about is like watching this movie because I heard it's like amazing and it's getting great reviews. And they're like, "Can we talk about something else?" I'm like, "Okay, what else do I talk about?" Because I talk about movies. Um, but yeah, I would say I'm a movie nerd. I also like
hmm
really like playing video games. Like I have a PS4 and everything. So
PSP.
I don't know if that counts as a nerd because a lot of people play video games, but
You have a PS4, not a PSP.
yeah, I've never actually like held a PSP in my hands except remember. Like I didn't
Okay.
actually know what it was before then.
Yeah. I was like, what's this?
Yeah, I was like, what is this that I'm holding? But yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's not. I don't think that's dirt. Well, yeah, I kind of empathize with that. Not the video game part, but the movie part. Except with comedy, I would annoy my
Yeah.
friends over like because there's people like us. We can't really help it. We're just very passionate about the things that we believe in. I will talk to people for hours about comedy, and they'll be like, "Do you talk about anything else?" And
Yeah.
or my parents were like, "Can you not turn this into a joke every single time?" And
Yeah.
it's like, do you annoy your parents? I guess with that sort of thing.
Well, my dad is also a movie nerd, so we sort of just talk about it all the time. My mom sort of is like, my mom likes watching TV shows. She is British, so she likes watching Coronation Street,
Hmm
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that she's more of like a TV show person. I always talk about movies and stuff, so she doesn't really get annoyed by it, but she doesn't like talk about them with me as much as my dad does.
hmm
But
You,
yeah,
you don't want to say anything bad because she could probably hear you. Um,
yeah, right here.
just, you don't want to like say something bad that you turn around. "Ugh." Like
Yeah.
So how is that growing up with like a British mother and then like sort of a father who has a normal accent? I don't want to say no, who has a
He's actually Portuguese as
he's
well, so he
Portuguese.
has a little bit. He kind of sounds like he's from New Jersey a little, a little
Okay.
bit.
Port- Portuguese. That's kind of weird. Portuguese, New Jersey. Uh, so how is that? But then, so it's like everybody in your family has a different accent.
Um, well, the entire side of my dad's family all lives in New Jersey and Portugal. So,
That's
um,
that's really random.
yeah, I know.
It's like there's New
And
Jersey, then there's Portugal. I find that
yeah,
really
and
funny. I don't
most of
know
my
why.
mom's family lives like right near us, like not even like 3 minutes away. So like
hmm
I definitely, I'm mostly just around people with British accents, so I never really like experience like having two separate accents in the family
Okay.
because it's mostly just the whole posh British thing. Well,
The posh. What's that?
My mom lost her accent after living in Canada. She just sounds American, sort of now.
Sort of now. It's sort of like it comes back every now and then.
Yeah, whenever she's around someone from England, her accent comes out.
Oh, so it's kind of like it's like a locational thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was thinking like she has a British accent, so why don't you? So that's sort of weird.
I wish I had a British accent.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Have you ever tried to imitate one for your mom and then she's like, no, no, no.
I'm actually surprisingly good at it because I had an obsession with Harry Potter movies when I was younger.
Oh, that's some
still
dirty
am obsessed with
qualities.
them. So I mastered the British accent, which
You
came in
mastered.
handy because when I was filming Rain, I had to be British.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it was very good that I knew how to do that. So my mom's very proud of me that I sound like her.
Yeah. I'm in
Yeah.
a web series right now where I have to do this summer I have to do a British accent. So, yeah. How did you get? So you just watched a lot of Harry Potter?
I did. And also, I just grew up watching them, so it sort of just came naturally to me. I don't know how easy it would be now, like if I just started watching them now, it'd be
Mhm.
hard to pick up on them probably.
Here, let's see what you can do. Let's do this. I like doing people's special talents on the podcast that they're able to show audio wise. So,
Yeah.
let's see what you got.
Give me a sentence.
Read it. I don't know. Just talk here. I'll ask you a question, then you can just answer me in a British accent. Here, I'll do it with you. Would it be comfortable if I did it with you? Would be like sort of would that sort of ease the tension?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I never get to use it, so I have to use it with other people. So when does I think you answered this question. So do you what are your thoughts on Mommy's Little Boy?
Oh, now I'm feeling the tension. Okay, I always get under pressure about this stuff.
Yeah. Just ease the tension. Don't worry. Only 15 billion people listen to this podcast. So
What? Oh my God.
yeah.
I'm joking. No.
No, it's okay. Okay, fine. You seem
No, I can do it. I can
You
do it. I think.
Okay. Redeem it. Redeem yourself.
Well, it's definitely a very creepy show. Oh no. Okay, I think that's as far as I can go right
That's
now.
as far as you can go. Oh, okay, it's fine. Don't worry. You had your
I'll
chance.
again later.
Yeah. You're like, we'll cut it in later.
Yeah.
It'll be an entire the next like half hour. It's just gonna be Peter talking in his British accent. He's gonna be reading a very famous book. We don't know what book it is in just a British accent. You'll get the full experience. So yeah. So do you I guess that's really it. Is there anything else you want to say to people? It's kind of like It's kind of like you're about to be killed and be like, "You have any last words?"
I would say I just want to encourage everyone to go watch Mommy's Little Boy and to go help out Life Coach any way they can, even if it's just views and subscribing,
Mm-hmm.
and posting about it and showing it to their friends. So everyone, please go do that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay, so go
thank you for
see
having-
Mommy's Little Friend on Lifetime at March 18th, right?
March 18th in America. So,
In
yeah.
America. If you're in America, March 18th. If you're in Canada, you're going to have to wait till an unknown time.
Yes.
Peter will probably travel to your house and tell you personally. He'll be doing a tour around Toronto, all about Mommy's Little Girl. He'll just drop by your house and just tell you about it. I don't think he's going to do that. I'm not his spokesperson. No, see Mommy's Little Boy March 18th here in America on Lifetime, and go donate to Life Coach the series on YouTube. Thank you so much, Peter. This was a blast. I had a great time.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Okay, bye.